Stop. Do not say another word. This is not the time for explanations for defense or for trying to make them understand. I have watched you exhaust yourself, pouring your heart out to ears that refuse to hear and hearts that are hardened against your truth. I am your creator, the one who sees the beginning from the end, and I am calling for an immediate halt to your struggle. This is a divine appointment, a sacred pause in the middle of your battlefield. I need your undivided attention right now, for what I am about to release is not a suggestion, nor is it a mere message of comfort. It is a heavenly decree, a shift in the spiritual atmosphere surrounding your life. I am commanding you to silence the noise of the world and the chatter of your own mind. Do not multitask. Do not look away. For in this very moment, a transaction is taking place in the courts of heaven that will determine the outcome of your current trial. You have been fighting with the wrong weapons, and I am here to rearm you for the victory that is already yours. I have seen the silent tears you shed when the door is closed and the lights are off. I have heard the mental scripts you write, those imaginary conversations where you finally say the perfect thing to vindicate yourself and clear your name. I know the heavy crushing weight in your chest when you realize that no matter how clearly you speak or how sincerely you act, they choose to misunderstand you. My beloved child, my precious chosen, one, your mouth is weary from trying to prove a truth that I have already seen and recorded in the books of eternity. Today, I am reaching down from my throne to take that heavy, notched sword of words out of your hands. It has served its purpose in the lower realms, but it cannot win this next level of your destiny. In its place, I am giving you the shield of silence. This is not the silence of the defeated, nor is it the quiet of the weak or the cowardly. It is the majestic, terrifying silence of a king who knows the verdict has already been signed. You have spent your energy trying to convince people who were never meant to be your judges. I am your judge. I am your vindicator. And when I step into the courtroom on your behalf, your silence becomes the loudest testimony in the universe. This moment was woven into the fabric of time specifically for you. It is not an accident, nor is it a coincidence that you are hearing my voice at this exact second. You are entering a season where your enemies will expect a reaction, a stumble or a defensive cry, but they will find only the impenetrable wall of my peace. The more they push, the more you will rest. The more they whisper their lies, the more I will roar my truth over your life. You are being built into something far greater than a survivor. You are becoming a vessel of divine authority that cannot be shaken by the opinions of man. Understand that if you ignore this instruction and continue to struggle in your own strength, you will continue to bleed your vital energy into a void that can never be filled. But if you accept this shield, if you embrace the power of the unspoken word, you will watch as I dismantle the traps set before you with surgical precision. This is the hour of your quiet revolution. Stay focused, for the fog of confusion is about to lift, and the strategy of heaven is about to be revealed in your stillness. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the first and the last, and I am telling you, your vindication does not require your voice. It only requires your trust in me. I promise you, my beloved child, that as you lend me your heart until the very end of this message, a supernatural transformation will take root within your spirit. I am not merely speaking words into the air. I am releasing a peace covering that surpasses all human understanding. This is a divine canopy that will shield your mind from the fiery darts of anxiety and the relentless pressure to defend yourself. As you listen, you will feel the heavy brain fog that has plagued your thoughts begin to dissipate like mist before the rising sun. The confusion that has kept you awake at night, wondering where you went wrong or how to fix the broken pieces, will be replaced by a crystal clear clarity. You will no longer see through a glass darkly, but you will begin to perceive your situation through my eternal perspective. This is my gift to you for your faithfulness, a mind that is sharp, a heart that is still, and a spirit that is fully aligned with the frequency of heaven. Do not let your focus waver, for the atmosphere is shifting even as these words reach your ears. Beyond the internal peace, I am initiating a divine reversal in the seen and unseen realms. While you stand still in my presence, I am moving on your behalf in the camps of those who have sought to harm you, those who have weaponized their tongues against you and whispered slanders in the dark will find their own words returning to them as a source of shame and confusion. While they scramble in their own chaos, you will be elevated in your quietness. I am birthing a new authority in your walk, a spiritual weightiness that will cause even your enemies to recognize that I am with you. This is the promise of the Chosen One, that your silence is your strength and my presence is your protection. I give you my solemn word that if you remain here with me until the final seal is placed upon this message, the crushing weight you have carried upon your shoulders for months, perhaps years, will fall to the ground and shatter. You will rise from this moment lighter, stronger, and more powerful than the person who began listening. Trust in the process. Stay until the end, for the miracle you seek is hidden in your endurance. I have watched you, my child, as you carry a burden that was never meant for your shoulders. I have seen the exhaustion that clings to you like a second skin, a weariness that sleep cannot touch, because it is not your body that is tired, but your soul. I have seen you lying awake in the dark, your mind spinning like a wheel, replaying every word you said and every word they spoke back. You prepare elaborate scripts in your head before you even close your eyes, rehearsing how you will defend your character, how you will finally make them see the truth, and how you will prove that your intentions were pure. You spend hours in the courtroom of your mind, acting as your own lawyer, your own witness, and your own judge, yet the verdict never changes. This mental labor is draining your life force, leaving you hollowed out and fragile. I see you retreating into yourself, not because you want to be alone, but because the mere thought of another misunderstood conversation feels like an assault on your spirit. I know the physical toll this has taken on you. I feel the way your heart begins to race, pounding against your ribs like a trapped bird the moment your phone vibrates or a notification appears from them. Your breath becomes shallow, and a cold knot forms in the pit of your stomach. I have felt the tension that has settled into your neck and shoulders, a literal weight of judgment that you are trying to carry on your own. There is a persistent tightness in your chest, a heaviness that makes it feel as though you are breathing through water. You feel misunderstood even when you are being most sincere, and it creates an agonizing sense of isolation. You have experienced that sinking feeling of the more I say, the worse it gets, where every word you offer as a bridge is used as a weapon against you. You are suffering from a spiritual and emotional burnout that has left you feeling like a prisoner to the opinions of people who do not have the capacity to see your light. Listen to me closely, my chosen one. These symptoms, the insomnia, the social anxiety, the constant state of fight or flight, and the crushing need to be validated, are not signs that you are weak. They are not evidence that you are failing or that you have lost your way. Instead, these are the sirens of your soul, signaling that you are using the wrong weapon for this battle. You have been trying to fight a spiritual war with human words, and it is like trying to stop a flood with your bare hands. This heaviness is a residue of pressure, and it is a divine indicator that you have reached the end of your own strength. You are not created to be a publicist for your own reputation. You were created to be a vessel for my glory. The reason you feel so drained is that you are trying to do my job. These signs are my way of telling you to let go, to stop the explanation, and to step into the safety of my silence. Your identity is not found in their approval, and your peace is not found in their understanding. It is found in me. I want you to look at your silence through my eyes, for you have been taught by the world that to be quiet is to be weak, and that to say nothing is to allow the lie to win. But in the architecture of the kingdom, silence is not a white flag of surrender. It is a strategic maneuver of the highest order. It is an act of radical trust where you deliberately step out of the way so that I, the righteous judge, can step in. When you stop defending yourself, you are essentially declaring to the heavens, I no longer need to be my own savior, for I have a defender who never sleeps. This shift is the exact moment the battle changes hands. As long as you are speaking, the world is listening to your human limitations, and my voice is muffled by your noise. But the moment you seal your lips, you create a divine vacuum that can only be filled by my supreme authority. Your silence is the ultimate sign of your spiritual maturity. It is the evidence that you have finally recognized that your words are too small for the miracle I am about to perform on your behalf. Understand the true nature of the warfare you are currently navigating. You have been focused on faces' names and the specific stinging words spoken against you. You see a person who is acting as an adversary, but I see a system. I see the patterns of the enemy trying to distract you from your high calling. We do not wrestle against flesh and blood, my child. The person attacking you is merely a tool, a vessel being used by an ancient pattern of pride, jealousy, and confusion. When you argue with them, you are merely feeding that pattern, giving it the very fuel it needs to keep burning. But when you move into the strategy of heaven, we target the roots, not the branches. We strike at the open doors of fear and bitterness that have allowed this conflict to enter your atmosphere. By choosing silence, you are closing those doors. You are refusing to give the enemy the reaction he craves to sustain his power over you. You're choosing to fight from the throne room rather than the trenches of human emotion. This is how a true heir of my kingdom conducts themselves. They do not bicker with those who cannot perceive the weight of their crown. Hear this truth clearly. When you go silent, I begin to speak. While you are resting in my shadow, I'm whispering into the hearts of those who need to witness the truth. I'm rearranging circumstances, uncovering hidden evidence, and bringing blinding light into the dark places where the lies were first manufactured. You do not have to shout to be heard when the creator of the universe is your advocate. My voice is like a thunder that shakes the foundations of every lie ever told about you, and it carries a weight that no human argument can match. While you stay quiet and maintain your internal peace, I am working tirelessly behind the scenes to orchestrate a vindication that will be far more public and powerful than any defense you could ever mount on your own. You are not losing ground, you are gaining the vantage point of heaven. This is the strategy. You be still and let me be God. You hold your peace and I will win the war. The more you withdraw from the earthly noise, the more you will hear the melody of my victory already playing over your life. Listen to my heartbeat in the rhythm of the ancient words I once breathed into the world. Commit your way to me. Trust in me and I will act. I will make your righteous reward shine like the dawn and your vindication like the noonday sun. Be still before me and wait patiently for the movement of my hand. Do not fret because of those who succeed in their wicked ways or those who carry out evil schemes. This is the weight of the shield I am placing in your hands today. To commit is to transfer the burden entirely from your shoulders to my throne. It is an act of total surrender where you stop trying to manage the outcome and start trusting the architect. When you are still, you are not inactive. You are operating in a higher dimension of power. While the world sees a person who has given up, I see a warrior who has finally picked up the only weapon that cannot be broken. Your vindication will not be a flickering candle in a dark room. It will be like the dawn, inevitable, unstoppable, and visible to everyone who once doubted your light. This shield of silence is not a simple barrier. It is composed of 7 divine layers of protection that are being activated around your life at this very moment. Imagine 7 rings of celestial fire encircling your mind, your heart, and your reputation. The first layer burns away the sting of the words spoken against you. The second layer dissolves the anxiety of the unknown. The third layer acts as a filter, allowing only my truth to reach your ears, while the lies of the enemy perish in the flames. These layers are designed to make you fireproof. I did not bring you this far to let you be consumed by the furnace of human opinion. I brought you here to show you that even in the midst of the heat, there is a fourth man walking with you. Every ring of this fire is burning away a different level of pressure that has been trying to crush your spirit. You are being encased in a sanctuary of my own making, a place where the noise of the world cannot penetrate and the arrows of the accuser lose their aim. Prepare yourself, for a profound shift is occurring within your identity. You are no longer the victim of circumstances or the target of someone else's malice. You are moving into the role of a bearer of divine authority. The very trials you have faced were not punishments. They were the training grounds required to build the strength needed for the weight of the blessing I'm about to release. A heavy blessing requires strong shoulders, and a great destiny requires a character that cannot be bought or bullied. By choosing to hold this shield and remain in my peace, you are passing the endurance test that many others fail. You are proving that you are ready to rule over the territory I have assigned to you. Stand firm, child of the Most High. The transition from the one who is hunted to the one who is honored begins with the quiet confidence of knowing who stands behind you. Your silence is your testimony that you know I am God, and that is all the power you will ever need. Before I lead you deeper into the sanctuary of my peace and reveal the next layer of your defense, we must establish your presence here in this holy space. This is a moment of divine alignment, a moment where your physical action meets my spiritual promise. Do not remain a silent observer while the heavens are moving on your behalf. Type this now in the comments: Divine Fire. Cover me now. Let these words be a spiritual anchor in the digital realm, a declaration to the principalities and powers that you have chosen, my protection over your own defense. This is not a mere comment. It is a seal of your presence, and Amen uttered before the miracle manifests. As you type these words, feel the shift in your atmosphere, knowing that you are claiming the fire that burns away every false accusation and every heavy burden. Now, I invite you to join this family of the chosen and press the like button immediately. This act is your signal of agreement with the decree of heaven. In the spiritual realm, agreement creates momentum, and momentum breaks chains. By liking this message, you are not just supporting a channel. You are linking your faith with thousands of others who are also standing in the gap, creating a floodlight of truth that the darkness cannot extinguish. It is an act of spiritual consensus that tells the enemy his time of confusing you and isolating you is over. Let this collective sound of faith rise up to my throne. When you align your heart with this message, you are making a choice to move from the isolation of your struggle into the fellowship of my power. Lift up your eyes, my beloved child. Right now, in this very moment, I am commanding your gaze to rise above the horizon of your current troubles. Look away from the faces that have looked at you with judgment. Look away from the fingers that have pointed in accusation. Look away from the digital screens, the empty rooms, and the cold expressions of those who have misunderstood your heart. Those faces are fading. They are mere shadows in the light of my eternal presence. I want you to look into my eyes, the eyes of the one who knitted you together in the secret places of your mother's womb. I saw you before you drew your first breath, and I saw the beauty I placed within you before the world tried to tell you who you were supposed to be. When you look at me, you see the truth of your identity. You are not the labels they have pasted on you, nor are you the mistakes they have tried to define you by. You are my masterpiece, my precious inheritance, and my gaze upon you is filled with a love that is unshakable and a pride that is deep. Shift your focus from the storm to the one who walks upon the waves. You have spent so much energy watching the wind and calculating the height of the waves, trying to figure out how to stay afloat in the sea of public opinion. But as long as you look at the storm will live inside of you. I am calling you back to center, back to the vertical alignment where my throne is the only authority that matters. When your eyes are fixed on me, the chaos of the world becomes background noise. You begin to realize that the opinions of man are like the grass that withers and the flowers that fall, but my word over your life stands forever. I am the architect of your destiny, the Alpha of your beginning, and the Omega of your victory. Those who judge you do not know the plans I have for you. They do not know the path I have paved for your feet. They are looking at a single page of your story, but I am the author of the entire book, and I tell you now, the ending is glorious. Shift your atmosphere. Now, do not wait for the circumstances to change before you choose to be at peace. Peace is not the absence of the conflict. It is the presence of the King in the midst of it. I am releasing a frequency of heaven that is recalibrating your heart, even as you listen. I am replacing your panic with my poise, your anxiety with my assurance, and your sorrow with my sovereign joy. Take a deep breath and feel the vertical connection being restored. You are no longer looking horizontally for validation that will never come from human sources. You are looking upward where your help comes from. From this vantage point, your problems look small because your God is so big. The atmosphere of fear is being pushed out by the atmosphere of my glory. You're entering a state of divine equilibrium where nothing on this earth can tilt your spirit or rob you of your crown. Stand tall, chosen one, for you are looking at the one who has already overcome the world. We enter now into the theater of the Spirit, where the battle is not fought with words of man, but with the consuming fire of my presence. This is the great warfare, the moment where we systematically dismantle the strongholds that have held your peace hostage. Do not look away, for I am moving with surgical precision through 7 layers of your life. This is not a gentle tap. It is a divine strike against the roots of your exhaustion. We begin with the first round targeting the very source of your weariness, the addiction to human justification. I see the invisible tether that has bound your heart to the validation of people who are incapable of seeing your light. I declare right now that the chains of human recognition are shattered. You no longer need their yes to feel my yes over your life. I am breaking the spiritual cycle of you explaining your heart to minds that have been closed by the enemy. As I speak, feel the shift in your body. Your breath is becoming deeper, more rhythmic. That knot of tension, that physical constriction in your throat where words used to get stuck, is dissolving like salt in water. My peace is flowing where the pressure used to live. In the second round, we target the arrows of the tongue, the whispers behind your back, the lies written in digital ink, and the venom of those who seek to pull you down to their level. I see every post, every message, and every secret conversation intended to diminish your worth. I declare that every tongue that rises against you in judgment shall be condemned by the sheer weight of your divine silence. I am reversing the flow of these words. They will no longer pierce your shield, but will return to their source as a mirror of their own shame. While they speak, they are exposing their own hearts, while you remain hidden in the hollow of my hand. In the third round, we strike the target within the voice of the inner critic. I am dismantling the echoes of their accusations that have taken root in your mind. I declare that the remnants of shame, guilt, and self-reproach are cleared from your consciousness. You are forgiven, you are chosen, and you are mine. I am washing away the residue of every critical thought you have directed at yourself in the heat of battle. You are being made whole. The fourth round strikes at the invisible forces that stir up confusion and ignite the fires of misunderstanding. These are not just people you're dealing with. These are patterns of discord trying to steal your destiny. I declare that every door you have accidentally opened through fear trauma, or the need to please, is now slammed shut and sealed by the blood of the Lamb. I silence the accuser in the spiritual realm. No longer will these shadows have access to your thoughts or your sleep. I am placing a hedge of fire around your mind that no darkness can penetrate. In the 5th round, I am taking over your reputation, the target of divine PR. I see the image of you that has been smeared and distorted by the hands of others. I declare that I am restoring your honor with the blinding light of my truth. I will cause the right people to see the real you, and I will cause those who have been blinded by lies to see the fruit of your character. Your name will no longer be associated with the mud they threw, but with the gold I am refining within you. I am rebuilding your walls with precious stones. In the 6th round, we target the spirit of impatience, that frantic urge to jump back into the fight when the silence feels too heavy. I declare a supernatural fortification of your shield of silence. I am placing a divine guard over your lips and an army of angels around your mouth to keep you from speaking prematurely. I am giving you the strength to wait for my perfect timing without wavering. This silence is not a void. It is a fortress, and within it, I am building a character that will sustain the massive blessings I am preparing to hand to you. Finally, in the 7th round, we target the barriers of stagnation. I declare your public elevation. As it is written in the heavens, I am preparing a table for you in the very presence of your enemies. They will not just hear of your success, they will be forced to witness the glory I have placed upon you. I am promoting you not in spite of the fire, but because the fire made you fireproof. You are stepping out of the hidden season and into a territory you now have the authority to possess. Every round is won. Every chain is broken. The warfare is finished. We have moved through the fire, and the atmosphere surrounding you has been fundamentally altered. The ground you are standing on right now is holy, and the air you breathe is thick with the fragrance of victory. It is time to lock in the spiritual breakthroughs we have just carved out in the unseen realm. Do not let these words simply pass through your mind. You must anchor them into your physical reality to ensure they take root. Type it again with the full authority of a child of the King. No door is open to fear. When you write these words, you are not merely participating in a digital act. You are signing a celestial contract. You are declaring to every whispering spirit, every shadow of doubt, and every lingering accusation that your gates are officially closed to their influence. Your words carry my divine weight now. By speaking and writing this truth, you are sealing the perimeter of your soul and establishing a boundary that the enemy cannot cross. Now, as an act of further commitment to this new season, I call you to press the like button once more. Let this action be the outward sign of the inward shield that has been forged within you during this message. By doing so, you are allowing this light to radiate further, reaching those who are still trapped in the darkness of misunderstanding and those who are still bleeding from the wounds of human judgment. You are becoming a beacon of hope, helping to extend this divine protection to your brothers and sisters. And I invite you now to subscribe and join this family of believers. This is not just a subscription to a channel. It is an invitation to a new rhythm of life. From this moment forward, your days will be characterized by my supernatural protection, my crystal clarity, and my unshakable peace. Make this your spiritual home. For here we cultivate the strength of the chosen. This is your turning point. The old way of exhausting yourself in self-defense is dead. The new way of reigning in silence has begun. Feel the pulse of my presence slowing down the frantic rhythm of your heart. I am leaning in closer now, whispering into the very core of your being, with a voice that is as gentle as a summer breeze, yet as firm as the foundations of the earth. You have been in a state of high alert for so long, eyes scanning for the next attack, ears listening for the next whisper, that your body has forgotten how to simply exist without the shadow of fear. But I am the great physician, the one who knit your nerves and sinews together, and I am placing my hand upon your nervous system right now. The war you were fighting is over. The soldiers of anxiety have been dismissed. You can finally step out of the trenches and lay down your heavy armor. I am washing away the cortisol of conflict, the chemical residue of months of stress, and replacing it with the soothing oil of my joy. Let the vibration of my voice settle the tremors in your spirit. You are safe. You are held. You are protected by the one who commands the stars and stills the seas with a single word. Breathe with me now. My precious child, this is not just air you are taking in. It is the very breath of life that I first breathed into the lungs of man. Inhale my peace deeply, fully. Feel it filling your lungs, entering your bloodstream, and traveling to every microscopic cell that has been tight with tension and weary from the struggle. Now exhale. Slowly let out the last remnants of the bitterness you've been carrying. Exhale the names they called you. Exhale the labels they tried to stick on your character. Exhale the poison of the arguments you never got to finish and the explanations that were never heard. As you breathe out, imagine those heavy, dark clouds leaving your body and dissolving instantly in the blinding light of my glory. Do it again. Inhale my sovereignty, knowing that I am in total control of every detail of your life. Exhale the exhausting need to manage your own reputation. Every breath is a resetting of your soul, a return to the garden of my grace, where you were always meant to dwell in quietness and confidence. I am declaring a permanent shift in your internal environment. Peace is no longer a fleeting guest that visits you for a moment and leaves the second the trouble starts. Peace has become the very atmosphere you breathe, a thick golden light that surrounds you everywhere you go. Notice your body in this moment. Feel your shoulders, those heavy invisible weights of judgment you've been carrying, have been lifted by my hand, and your shoulders are finally dropping, relaxing into the support of my love. The tightness in your jaw is releasing. The cold knot in your stomach is untying itself and melting away. I am performing a divine reset on your entire nervous system, moving you from the state of survival into the state of reigning. You are being recalibrated to function from a place of deep soul-level rest. From this day forward, you will find that your reactions are different. You will see chaos and remain unruffled. You will hear whispers and remain unmoved. This is the restoration of the chosen one, a spirit that is unshakable because it is anchored in the eternal stillness of the Almighty. Look closely at the ruins of the traps set for you, for I am performing a miracle of divine alchemy in this very moment. The very weapons that were forged to drain your energy, the slanders that were intended to exhaust your spirit, and the misunderstandings that were meant to keep you bound in a cycle of grief, I am taking all of it and turning it into the fuel for your next level. The enemy meant to use your sensitivity as a weakness, but I'm transforming it into a spiritual radar that will lead you directly to your destiny. You thought you were being depleted, but in the silence, you were actually being compressed like a diamond. Every ounce of pressure that was applied to you by those who sought to break you is being converted into the power you need to soar higher than you ever imagined. I am reversing the flow of your life's energy. What was once leaking out into useless debates and defensive thoughts is now flowing back into your purpose, your creativity, and your strength. You are not just recovering, you are being upgraded through the very trials that were designed to destroy you. The momentum of your enemies has been redirected to push you forward. I am restoring to you the years that the locusts of gossip and judgment have eaten away from your peace. I am giving you back your crystal-clear clarity of mind, removing the heavy, suffocating shadows that made you doubt your own worth and my divine plan. Do you feel that spark of life returning to the center of your soul? That is the restoration of the joy that was stolen by the noise and the malice of the world. I am handing you back your vital energy. But it is no longer the frantic, anxious energy of the person who feels they have to prove something to everyone they meet. It is the calm, steady power of the person who knows they are vindicated by the Most High. I am restoring your sleep, making your bed a sanctuary of divine revelation rather than a battlefield of mental arguments and replayed conversations. I am healing your reputation in the hearts of those whose opinions actually matter for your future. The time of your hiding is over. The time of you feeling like a pariah or an outcast is being erased from your timeline. I am making everything beautiful in its time, and your time of renewal has arrived. You are no longer walking like a victim hiding in the shadows, waiting for the storm to pass. You are stepping into a divine promotion that was forged in the white-hot fire of your silence. You walk differently now. There is a weight of authority in your step and a divine poise in your posture that comes from the deep internal knowing that you are shielded by the Almighty. I am promoting you from a survivor of conflict to a possessor of new territory. I am giving you the authority to walk into rooms where you were once rejected and stand with a peace that commands the atmosphere. You do not need to raise your voice to be heard. Your presence itself will speak of the battles you have won in the secret place. This is the reward for the one who learned to trust me when everything seemed to be falling apart. You are not falling apart. You are falling into a greater purpose. You are being aligned with the elite warriors of my kingdom who do not bicker over small things because they are busy governing great things. Step into this new identity. Step into this higher level of influence. You carry my seal, and the doors I'm opening for you now no man or devil can shut. You must understand, my beloved, that you did not just survive a trial. You have undergone a fundamental transformation of your very soul. You entered this season of conflict as someone who felt like a victim of circumstances, someone who felt small and defenseless against the rising tide of human judgment. You felt like a target wounded and bleeding from the sharp arrows of words you could not stop. But look at the one who is standing here now. Look at the spirit that has emerged from the furnace of silence. I've burned away the fragile victim mentality that the world tried to force upon you. I have stripped away the need to be liked and replaced it with the divine necessity of being holy. In the place of that wounded heart, I have forged the tempered steel of a warrior of peace. A warrior does not need to shout to prove their strength. A warrior carries their power in their presence, in the steady rhythm of their breathing, and in the unshakable clarity of their gaze. I have marked your forehead with my own invisible seal, a signet of authority that the spirit world recognizes and respects. You are no longer defined by the trauma of what was said about you, but by the triumph of who I have made you to be. You walk with a different cadence now, a divine poise that the world cannot duplicate and the enemy cannot understand. There is a supernatural weightiness to your silence that is more devastating to the darkness than 1,000 human arguments. When you move through a room, you carry the atmosphere of the throne room with you, and those who once sought to rattle you will find themselves silenced by the peace that radiates from your spirit. Your words, when you choose to speak them, will no longer carry the sour fragrance of defense or the bitterness of the battlefield. They will carry the authority of the sanctuary. I am commissioning you this day to go forth not as a seeker of human approval, but as an ambassador of my kingdom. You have learned that the highest form of strength is not found in the strike, but in the shield. You have discovered that to be quiet is to be truly powerful. You are an owner of spiritual territory, a guardian of my truth, and a light that the darkness can never extinguish. The era of your trembling is over. The era of your reigning has begun. Walk in your new identity, for you are mine, and I have made you invincible in my love. Now that the victory is won and the shield of my presence is firmly in place, you must learn to guard the ground we have reclaimed. It is not enough to be set free. You must walk in a way that keeps the gates closed to the enemy's return. This victory is precious, and it requires a new level of stewardship. The first step I give you is a sabbatical for your soul. You have been in a high-speed chase of thoughts for too long, and your mind is used to the frantic pace of conflict. I am calling you to enter a season of deep, intentional rest. Do not analyze the past. Do not speculate about the future. Simply be. Give your mind permission to be silent, for in that stillness I am stitching your weary spirit back together. Alongside this rest, you must build walls, not out of fear, but out of divine wisdom. These are healthy boundaries. You are no longer obligated to enter every room where you are not celebrated. You do not owe an explanation to those who are determined to misunderstand you. Guard the entry points of your life as if they were the gates to a holy palace, for that is exactly what your heart is to me. The third path to maintaining your victory is the radical, powerful act of forgiveness. Understand this clearly. Forgiveness is not a gift you give to those who hurt you. It is the final key that unlocks your own prison cell. You do not forgive because they were right or because their actions were acceptable. You forgive because you deserve to be free from the weight of their shadows. When you release them from your judgment, you are handing them over to my justice, and my justice is far more perfect and far-reaching than your anger could ever be. At the same time, you must filter the streams that flow into your life. Stop checking the digital footprints of those who hate you. Stop listening to the echoes of their criticism through the mouths of others. If a source of information brings poison to your peace or triggers the old wounds of justification, cut it off immediately. You are the gardener of your own soul, and you must pull up the weeds of toxic information before they can take root in the fertile soil of your new identity. Protect your eyes and your ears, for they are their windows to your temple. Establish a rhythm of prayer that acts as a morning seal upon your day. Before you speak a single word to the world or engage with the noise of the day, speak to me. Let your first and most urgent petition be, Lord, set a guard over my mouth and keep watch over the door of my lips. This simple act of daily submission ensures that your shield of silence remains active and that your authority remains intact. When you give me your words at the start of the day, I give you my poise for the rest of it. And remember, my beloved child, that I often work through the hands and hearts of others. If the weight of the trauma you have endured feels too heavy for you to process alone, do not be ashamed to seek professional support. I have placed wisdom and discernment in the minds of counselors and healers to help you navigate the intricate paths of your restoration. Asking for help is not a sign of a lack of faith. It is an act of courageous stewardship over the life I have entrusted to you. Walk these steps with me. Guard the victory we have achieved together. You are no longer a victim trying to survive. You are a victor, learning how to reign in a kingdom of eternal peace. The decree has been issued and the ritual of silence is now complete. The gates of heaven have responded to your stillness, and the spiritual atmosphere around you has been recalibrated for your victory. What I have begun in you this day, no man can hinder and no devil can reverse. The lies that once echoed in your mind are being drowned out by the roar of my truth, and the chains that bound your tongue have been replaced by the weight of my glory. You are walking out of this moment as a new creation, leaving behind the exhaustion of the old warfare. Do not look back at the rubble of your past trials, for they have no power over your future. The seal of the Almighty is upon your heart, and the shield of my presence is your permanent inheritance. Your season of hiding is over. Your season of reigning in peace has officially begun. It is finished, it is done, and it is very good. Now, my beloved child, perform the final act of faith to lock this prophecy into your life forever. Do not let this moment pass without marking it in the physical realm. Type these words in the comments. Now it is done. My future is guarded. Let this be the final seal, a declaration that resonates through the corridors of eternity, announcing that you have accepted my protection and my promise. And I invite you to subscribe once more, making sure you are firmly rooted in this chosen family of believers. By doing so, you're ensuring that my voice remains the loudest sound in your life, guiding you through every storm and protecting you in every battle. You have entered the inner circle of my peace, and I will continue to perfect everything that concerns you. Your future is not a matter of chance. It is a matter of my divine decree. But your journey of restoration does not end here. The victory you have claimed today over your reputation and your peace is only the first layer of the fortress I am building around you. I have more I want to reveal to you, more protection I want to activate over your household. Do not leave this holy presence just yet. I am leading you now to the next revelation, where I will show you how to lock in this victory and build a second level of divine shielding, one that specifically guards your finances and the safety of your family. Step into the next video immediately. Do not give the enemy a moment to breathe. Move forward with me now, for the path of the chosen is a path of continuous elevation. I am already waiting for you there. Come and let us finish what we have started.